Hey guys, it's Mary. So the other day I had done a video on a mini haul from HSN Craft Day, and I had gotten two of the Create a Card dies from Crafter's Companion, and one was on extended delivery, which I just got in today, and I was playing with it, so I wanted to show you some ins and outs if you haven't received yours yet, or if you are like me and haven't just gotten around to it. So I already showed you guys this wonderful woodland I received in the first order, and the Tropical Paradise. And today is the day I received the African Savannah, which is the one that I was waiting for. And so they're called Create a Card 3D Scenes. And I've got some pictures that probably would show you a little bit better. They're all cut out of a 6x4 card, which is kind of like a photo frame. And then you can have as many layers as you want. And so there's that one. Here's the same one with different colors. I like this one with the black. I think the silhouette in the background, I think, looks nice. So that's the African Savannah one. And then this is the woodland one, which has less colors, which I think would make it easier. But oh my goodness, this one is just gorgeous, I think, with all the different colors. And it's basically, they did it basically the same way, positioned the animals the same way, but it just looks so different with different color. And then this is the Tropical Paradise one, which I love the way they did all the leaves around. And then this this is a square. I guess it just doesn't have as many leaves. I really am drawn to this one more. So, all right, so I hope you can see this. Let me see. So let me show you this first. These are all the dies that come with the African Savannah. Oops. All right. Let me get this magnet out of the way before everything starts to go crazy, and get this back here. And there we go. Okay. So with the African Savannah, you get the lion on the rock, the elephant, you get the giraffe, an extra tree, and then a rhino. And so they're the left and right of the card. And I just marked them because you can use them, you know, what I've labeled 1 and 2, you can use them interchangeably. But, you know, my touch of OCD makes me want to make sure that I know which one's which. So even if I swapped it out. So they're made so that you can make a 5x7 card bigger if you want. So, but this is what they're showing and how I did my pieces. So my first takeaway from this is not a card that I would want to do a batch on. Maybe 1 or 2 since you got the supplies out. Or maybe if you're sitting watching TV and you can do them, because they're not simple, and they're not brain, where you can just go into ozone mode and not think about it, because there is some thinking. So let you learn from my mistakes. So each of these cut out a panel, okay? And then the animals only have a cut line around. The bottoms don't have a cut line. And so so this was the first one that I cut out. And so that's this one here. And you can see, actually, oh no, I think I've done it wrong. See, I've done it wrong already. Okay, hold that thought. I actually think this one goes here, maybe. Let's look. Yep. All right, so see, now I'm going to have to change that, because this is going to be number 1. Good, I put it on tape. And this one's number 2. See? All right. Watch, I'll get past it, and then it'll be wrong again. No, it's good. All right. So when you cut this, you can go down, you can go and get online instructions, because they don't put them in the package. But it says to cut your panel, take one of your panels, place your first set of frames in the center of your panel, ensure that you have an even border. And I thought that I had an even border. It looked even to me, but they weren't. So my first suggestion would be to measure and make sure that they're even, because when you line them up, if your cut is not right, see how it doesn't line up? It doesn't line up here. It should actually be here. So I was off like maybe a 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch. And it does make a difference if you're gonna have your layers close to each other. Second of all, you have to end up cutting this comes out, but then you have to snip, because where they join, where you join them up here together right here, they still have a little bit that hangs on. I didn't even think about it, and all I did was I cut down, and when I cut, I realized, well, that was stupid, because I just cut my frame. And technically this would be the front frame. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you use little scissors or a little knife. So that was my first takeaway, or second takeaway. First was making sure that you line them up properly. So this came from this die. And then this layer, which was the second layer, came from this die here. So then it says to position your objects or animals in this case. But you really need to think about where they are going to be. Because they'll end up covering up each other, the layers. So I realized, let's see if I'll put this one down. this was going to be my second layer. And then I was going to have the animals and then this. Notice what happened to my giraffe. So I ended up switching. I think I ended up putting this one. Or I was going to do that. Oh, yes, I was going to do that. 1, 2, and 3. But then I lost all my animals. See? I lost all my animals. So you really need to put your layer, cut your first 2 layers from here, and then figure out where you're going to have your animals go, and then cut them accordingly. So what I ended up, I mean, if I had was cutting this to actually make a card, I realized I could just swap the layer 2 out and then have the giraffe peeking through the tree like that. But I really wanted this as a background, or I would want it. You can tuck it in here, but I didn't think it covered most of this tree. So that's my my third takeaway. Figure out where your animals are going, because they're just hiding. You won't see them. Also, I never thought about the fact that this needed to be the same width margin-wise. So his little butt almost got cut off here. So like I said, it's not a card that you can just throw together. You really have to kind of think about it and plan it out. And then once you plan it out and you find what you like, then you just, make a note, and then you know exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it. So my last takeaway is that they are supposed to emboss, and the animals especially. Let me show you that. The animals are supposed to emboss, but they didn't, because I used the Diamond Press Marquee to cut everything out of, and it doesn't have enough. It has plenty of pressure to cut, but not pressure to emboss. So there's no texture on my animals. And I think see, everything's flat. I think if you can get the texture, let me show you this one. I think if you can get some of the texture, see how this isn't, the tree's embossed here. You can see embossing here, and there's embossing on the animals. Then when you go to color them, it would be a lot easier, a lot better. So I think that's all of my takeaways. I would suggest that if you have these and you haven't done one before, on the back here, it tells you the where to go to get the instructions. And it has instructions for the 6x4 card, which this one is. And it also has instructions for 5x5 cards, which would be this one. And I guess something like this. But I mean, the instructions I think would basically be the same. The way you cut, the way you layer, it just depends on your panels, what you start with. So, and actually this is 3 by 2. This one's 5. So it would call for bigger than a 6 by 4. So, all right, so that's it. So, do you have any of these? You know, I bought the ones, the scene dies that you had, the stencils. And I like them, but they were a little bit messy. So when I got these, I thought, oh, these are great and they won't be messy. And they aren't messy, but they're a little bit more detailed, and you need to think a little bit more about them. So, so if you have them, let me know if you've used them. Let me know if you've got a workaround, a way to figure out where, you know, an easy way to get your animals placed where you want them. Let me know, because like I said, I just got it today, and this was just my first go round, and there were a lot of things that I didn't think about as I was first doing it. So if you've been working on it and you've got it down to a science, please share. I would love to know. And let me know how you like them. Just leave me a comment. So, all right, so that's it for this one. They're always reinventing the creator card, and they are pretty. They really are. But all right, so until next time, stay safe, stay well, and happy crafting. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.